And the experience overall, when you integrate your mortgage into your real estate team, you're going to start seeing things like 10, 15 day clear to close. I mean, that never happens. Usually it's you all the way up to closing date. Like, hey, is this going to close?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably going to need an extension for a day or two.
Some uncertainty, yeah. And it's not like it'll eliminate fully. There's always that odd things that happen in the deals. But so from the overall perspective, right, of, the models and how we work and why you would, let's pretend in a world that all the companies out there did this kind of thing. They don't. But, when you were going to choose how the structure is made and like what separates one mortgage company from another, right, or why somebody would work with a group like ours or what we do, there's really not many like us. But I think, there's a big difference in the traditional like retail space and the wholesale space. And then where we fall is kind of in between. You get the best of both worlds. But like you're saying, right? Deal closing time, right? Deal from application to closing. I think our average across all the loans that we've done, average right now stands over just a little bit over 15 days. That's the real data. I get updates every month.
And that's you're clear to close. You're just waiting for closing date.
Yeah,
the loan is satisfied.
Yeah, everything's ready to go. We've cleared to close, got the CDs out. CDs in time, balanced, everything's done. We just need to wait for the actual closing date. We're often ahead early. There are some situations that they'll go over, but the average comes out right now at like 15.6 days as of the last update. It's not like when you get into more complicated structures of management, like how companies run. It is a very difficult thing to do, but I think the advantage lies in the middle where we can choose to go directly through our own sources. Should we need to, like we can see the deal, figure out what's going to work the best. But if I know on the wholesale side with the lender that will only work with wholesale partners, that they have what we need to be able to move a certain aspect of this deal a whole lot faster, that's huge. Like that will allow us to do that on across most of the deals to fit the need of the borrower a little bit better. Whereas on the retail side, you're going to be, as a loan officer or customer of a retail or agent working with retail, whoever you are, it's going to be constrained to the limitations of that company alone and what they can do on their side. And they might not be bad, but they can't be jack of all trades, master of none. Like they have to focus specifically on like a certain subset of general population as a retail lender. And outside of that, like you're not going to get the options that you really need, or if I need to do something fast, if I need to do more aggressive pricing or whatever it may be, you miss it.
And that's why teams are losing deals by being partnered.
Yeah, the partnership.
A lender that's trying to stick everybody inside of one box and not have other options.
Yeah, and I think it's like kind of you are the one acquiring the customer. You are the one getting all these deals that are like outside of the box. Your lender is usually picking in that box for the ones that they want. I think of it as like when I remember back when I actually was in a spot where I could go trick-or-treating for Halloween. The way I look, you might feel like it. I still should be able to go, right? But it's the beard that stops me. But if I take the beard off, I have a shot. But when you're doing the Halloween shopping, you go in and I'm looking at the candy. I'm like, I hate Twix. I hate Twizzlers. I hate all this. Like, I just want my Skittles, right? That's my thing, Skittles and Hershey's chocolate. That's it. That's all I want, right? Isn't that not the same thing? If you're working with all the different partners and you're the one going trick-or-treating door to door. I love analogies, by the way. You're going trick-or-treating. It's from Raj. You're doing trick-or-treating door to door, and you're just doing all the work, right? You're actually out there on the grind, going house to house, getting all the candy. And then what if your friend comes over and it's like, yeah, I want the Skittles and the Hershey's, but those were your favorite. Friend comes and takes it. He didn't go trick-or-treating. He just comes and takes it later on. It's like that. Like, no, you got to eat the bad candy too, like, or work on it.
We got to try and get the hard loans closed.
Yeah, it's like a cherry-picked selection of what you want. And if it's across, like, now if that kid has like access to 10 people's candy bags,
yeah,
he's happy because he gets a Skittle from each. Right? And the rest of the candy that everybody went and got is gone. It's wasted. We'll eat the Twizzlers. Like, you would do it if you were making the money, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I was a loan officer and I had 10 different real estate team partners, why would I work on a hard file?
Yeah, does that make sense? Like,
I'm going to get 2 or 3 good files every single day. Why would I work on the hard ones?
Right. And that's the way that model is set up. It's not set up for the real estate agent necessarily to win like as much as they can, and based on their profitability.
And
It's
then
more the
especially if they're
profitability.
paying the team, they're giving you money, so they're under no obligation to work hard for you because they paid you.
Right. And that feeling, so when you went back in the situation, right, to that point of when they're giving you the stipend, I mean, but doesn't it, stipend or the co-marketing budget, didn't it feel weird, like when they have to come in and like, hey, you haven't sent deals this month?
Yeah, you get a slow month, and they're kind of
Do
saying,
you remember? Like, what does that
hey,
feel like?
well, you feel pressured, but you're like, "Hey, what about those 7 people I sent to you? Oh, we couldn't do anything with them. I need somebody else."
Yeah,
And
like
it's
you gave them the deals, and they come back and they're like, look, I'm paying you, or paying you. I mean, technically you are, but, co-marketing, but they're like, I'm not getting any good deals.
Yeah, I want the cherry. I want the clean file.
Yeah, my Skittles. Give me my Skittles, right? In my speak. But
It was an awkward conversation.
Right.
I tried my hardest not to. I tried my hardest to make sure it didn't happen, but it would from time to time. We'd have to have
Yeah.
it. But then I would remind them. I'd pull up the CRM and be like, "Hey, we sent you
Right.
all these people. There's nothing you can do with these people at all."
Right. No, it's a weird expectation. It comes back and it seems like almost like it's something you might probably end up dreading after a time, because you like that. Obviously it helped at that stage you were in the business.
Yeah, I mean it was $2,000 a month. I mean it helped, but
Yeah.
I mean when it comes down to it, what is $2,000? It's
Right.
not. It helps, but it's not really.
Right.
It's not gonna take your business to new heights or new levels, especially if he's not getting any deals done.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to further that, right? I guess just going back in, it just reminds me the differences again for the client, right? In the end of the day, that passes on to client. Everything passes on to the client. I mean, we have a lot of situations. I mean, recently too, where rates move fast, things change fast. Like you need to be pivoting and pivot often in the space and be dynamic. And with the client's best interest in mind, you're working on the real estate deal. You give it to your preferred lender, right? That, you give it to them, and then you're 10, 15 days from closing. Something changes, it's drastic. The rates change or something like that. And then, the client knows about it.
What would be drastic?
Yeah, let's say that the rate changes 0.5% in a day. So you're at 6.5%, you go to 6% next day. It happened already, right?
Okay.
In one day, based on news on inflation and whatnot. The fastest move that we've seen like that in the opposite direction. And it's like, what do you do? Your client is going to know because it's on the news, right? It's all over the place. It's all over what's going on. Everybody's kind of aware. It's been made a big deal. But when you're in that spot with the retail side too, and the image that you set as the agent coincides with the image that the lending partner sets, right? They go together. And then at that moment, you still have 10 days to close, but the borrower's like, man, rates, that's a big deal for me, right? Like
Right.
That's $300 a month or something.
Yeah.
What do we do? What can we do? And it's that's done. Like you can't do anything,
Retail.
on the retail side. Yeah.
Right.
Because you'd have to, you can't once the file is locked, and it's with one investor. On the file, wherever they get the money from, or their internal thing. Once it's locked, it's their, they're not going to take the loss. They might try to renegotiate. I've seen renegotiations try to happen where they try to give you a little bit, maybe, but otherwise, it's just a locking mechanism. You can't do anything, and that's why it's a lock. But the thing is on this side of the business, right, where you're in between. You have the wholesale options, and they're all fast. You have your own options. Everything's kind of fast. 10 days is enough time with the full package to transfer the appraisal, get it through underwriting, which takes 1 day, if not less, maybe the same day. You already have the condition files. You have everything. That situation occurs. You take that borrower and you move them into another wholesale portal channel, lender, really, put them in there, get everything cleared in like a couple days, get it transferred, and now you're at that lower rate. Now, it's not something you want to do willy-nilly, like if there's a situation that deems it. And in that case, always, you have that ability, right? And so at the last minute, it's another win for the client. It's another win for the borrower. Look what we did for you, right? Mm-hmm. But you can say we because we work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're integrated. Lending's integrated with your team.
Right.
You're able to help
and
them.
we do those things all the time. So it's when you're going to the the retail side, the partner, and it's your image on the line and everything there. It's like, their borrower wants that, lender can't do it, or wants something similar, or wants a concession, anything that they want something.
You're definitely gonna get a lot of referrals.
Yeah.
From being able to do that.
Right, and that ties into it. So, I think overall, there's so many different reasons, so many different options, channels, that type of thing. It just, there's so much in depth to that conversation. What we can do, what we can help out with, what we can cover. I mean, so much more than what we can cover in one call or one talk.
You know,